Good morning, my friends. Welcome to an early morning practice. So I'm Ariana, if we haven't yet met. If you have met me before, welcome back to your mat. This morning's practice is really guided by BirdSong. I hope you can hear them. They're so loud this morning. It's just such a beautiful morning here in the Hunter Valley in Australia. And we're going to be practicing with an oil called Davana. So Davana is an oil that I use for opening up creative flow within the body. And you know, sometimes when we're feeling really stressed or strung out or anxious, what tends to happen is that we're all up in our heads and we are worrying about the next thing or thinking about the next thing, and ultimately that contributes to us having this feeling of dissociation from our body, and not in a trauma response kind of way, although that can occur, but it's more about us being so much in the future, thinking about what's to come, that we forget to be really present and come back into our bodies and feel into the here and now. And so I like using Davana because it opens up creative flow, and it also brings us into this feeling of being present, coming into the here now moment. The beautiful thing about Davana is it has this incredible ability to adapt to our own chemistry. So each person who uses this oil will experience its scent and aroma differently because it matches the chemistry that we each have individually. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful accompaniment to your perfume apothecary or using it as part of your yoga practice. So before this practice, I applied it. I actually applied it all the way down in the lower belly, so below the belly button, right up until the pubic bone. You just roll it on all the way around the lower part of the belly. This is the area of the sacral chakra, an energy center that exists within the energy body, the physical body as well, that's really focused on creativity and creative flow. And then I also rolled it onto the lower back, so in the same area, but just on the lower back. Rolled it all the way around, rubbed it in as much as I could, beautiful circular slow motion, and then take a deep breath in from your hands after you've applied it. It's so beautiful. So for today's practice, we're going to keep as low to the ground as possible. We're going to really focus on our breath and coming into the present moment. We've got about 20 minutes, in between 15 and 20 minutes together. You may need 2 blocks. This is really going to help you to elevate your hips, and also in our low lunges, you may want to use some blocks. You can also use some books or anything really that will help support you. They're lifting your hips higher off the ground. Let's get into it. We'll find an easy seated pose. So to begin with, you may want to place the block sideways and then pop your hips directly on top of the block. We'll find easy seated pose. I like to have both shins planted into the ground to create some stability. You may rest your hands on your lap and close your eyes. And here we will work through a couple of breaths just to bring us into the present moment. If closing your eyes does not feel comfortable for whatever reason, you can gaze softly down to the ground. And here we really try to extend through the spine, the shoulders over the hips, the back of the neck long, and this quite often means that we need to tuck the chin in ever so slightly to lift the crown of the head up. So there are these 2 beautiful little bones on the side of the head, at the back of the skull, where the neck meets the skull, the occiputs. Little jade pillows, we like to call them. I want you to imagine that someone is drawing those jade pillows up for you, just gently stroking the back of the neck and lifting the jade pillows up, and this naturally tucks the chin in. So we're not tucking it in too much and we're not jutting it out. We're just lifting and lengthening. Breathing in and out through the nose. We'll work through a breath practice called vritti, which is just an equal inhale and an equal exhale. And we'll work with a count of 4. If you are experienced in this breath practice or would like to extend the inhale or exhale to 6 or even 8, then please go through your own rounds. Yeah. So breathe out completely. You can bring your hand to your belly to feel it relaxing completely. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, out. 4, 3, 2, 1, in. 4, 3, 2, 1, out. 4, 3, 2, 1, in. 4, 3, 2, 1, out. 4, 3, 2, 1, in. 4, 3, 2, 1, out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue. I'll leave you here for about a minute, just noticing what you notice as you continue with this breath practice. And with every exhale, you're drawing the belly to the spine. And every inhale, you're relaxing the belly completely, which is why I like to have my hand on my belly, just to make sure that I'm completely relaxing it on the inhale. 3 more rounds of breath here. And letting that breath practice go. Maybe your hand rests now on your lap. Set an intention for your practice. And blink the eyes open. Okay. I'm going to work in through to a forward fold. And this forward fold is just a seated forward fold. So you're welcome to place hips onto a block if you feel you need a little bit of elevation through the hip crease. Sometimes it's really nice, especially if you have tight hamstrings, to put a block under your hips, because it helps to eliminate this rocking back in through that lower back and the pelvic area. So I won't use a block, but feel free to place something underneath your hips if you feel that your hamstrings are a bit tight. We're going to work into just a very basic, soft, passive forward fold. By passive, I mean the feet are naturally falling out, the hands are resting on either side of the legs, and we're letting the head hang nice and heavy. We're here for approximately 2 minutes. A really long hold, not long enough for it to be a yin hold, because we do about a 3-minute hold when we're in yin. And the intention of putting this right at the beginning of the practice is just to open up through the back body. So we have this long line of fascia that exists from the feet, the bottoms of the feet, all the way up the back body, and it wraps up the legs, the buttocks, the back, the neck, the head, and it wraps into the forehead. And so sometimes when we are super stressed out, we feel this tension in through the neck area. And I have found that sometimes a beautiful forward fold such as this is really helpful, because it allows the head to relax completely. And you're letting the head hang super heavy, the back body opening and folding over the legs.
30 more seconds here. If you feel that there's a little bit more space for you to lower the torso onto the thighs just a little bit more, then wiggle your way around. And then slowly pressing your way up to a seat.
We'll move into a more active posture now called Janushirshasana, which is head to knee pose. Draw the left knee in towards your chest. Draw the foot as close to the buttock as possible, keeping both sitting bones on the ground. And then gently flail that left knee out to the side. Keep your hips facing the front of your mat. Reposition yourself as much as possible, as much as you need to get both of your sitting bones down on the ground. Lengthen through the spine and then gently fold forward into Janushirshasana, head to knee pose. Now, this is called head to knee, so you would assume that the head needs to make it to the knee, but it's not really like that. So the intention here is to get the belly down onto the thigh, flexing through the right foot as much as possible and feeling a stretch through the back of that right leg. 5 rounds of breath here. You can tuck the chin in to extend through the back of the neck. Feel the breath moving through the belly here. And you're pumping the belly out and draw it back in, just like we did in the opening breath sequence. This is really allowing that breath to massage that lower belly and activate the sacral chakra as we compress that energy center through this breath practice and through this pose. 2 more rounds of breath. One more breath. Release your hands, come up to seated. Draw the left knee into the chest and extend the left leg long. We'll try the other side. Right knee into the chest. Draw the foot as close to the buttock as possible. Keep both sitting bones down. Open the right knee out to the side. Your foot is basically pressing into that inner thigh. Flex through the left foot a lot. Lengthen through the spine, breathing in. And as you breathe out, fold forward, Janushirshasana on the other side. Quite often what I find is that the foot can sickle here. So there's all these funny things that happen with the feet when we are not paying attention to them. I want you to try and make sure that the foot is parallel, meaning you can imagine that you're standing on a flat surface with the foot. Imagine a wall pressing up against that foot and see if you can align the foot so that it is almost straight up. 3 more rounds of breath here. Go 1 more round of breath. And then come up to seated. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come onto the knees. Fold the legs underneath you. If you need a block underneath your hips, again, that's always available for you. And we're going to do some flow, opening up through the side body. So lift your right hand up to the sky, lifting it as tall as possible, lengthening through the spine, and then draw the left hand down along the mat, keeping your elbow in so that it's not flailing outwards, keeping the elbow in, and lengthen through the right side body. Stretching through that side. We'll hold it for 3 breaths before we go into this flow. So you'll feel a beautiful stretch up through that right hip, through the right rib cage, through the right underarm. If holding the head in this position is too much for your neck, you can just gaze down towards the ground. One more breath. Gently come up the same way you went in and extend the other arm up. Stretch over to the other side, opening up through the left side body now. 2 rounds of breath here. And now we'll just flow 3 times through each side. I like to have the knees a little bit wider for the flow, just for stability. And I'm just flowing from side to side. This is really honoring that creative flow. One more round on each side. And come back up. So nice. Come up onto your knees. Extend the left leg nice and long along the side of the mat. So you're on that right knee. Your left foot is on the ground for starters, and your foot and your knee are in alignment. Now I want you to flip the foot up. So that right knee is still pressing down in the ground. The left foot is flipped up. Bring your left hand up along the side of the leg for stability. Never place it onto the knee crease. You want it either on the calf or on the thigh. And lift your right arm up to the sky and find an even deeper side stretch. You're here for 2 breaths. You're pressing into the heel. You're flexing through the foot. And come back up. I'm going to try that on the other side. Left knee down, right leg out. And so I press into that foot as much as possible. And this is just to find some stability, right? So you've got a nice, beautiful long line on that inner right thigh. And now flip the heel up, flex the foot as much as you can, lift the left arm up, place the right hand along that extended leg, and find a beautiful stretch here. This is taking that side stretch just that little bit deeper. Breathing in through the side body. One more deep breath here. And coming out of that pose. Beautiful. Bring the knees to touch. Sit back onto your butt. Extend the feet onto the ground, or have the feet placed firmly on the ground. We're going into a reverse tabletop here to open up through the front body a bit. Some counter stretching. Fingers facing the front of the mat. Press into your feet a lot. Rock forward onto the feet and then extend the hips. Lift the hips up towards the sky. You'll feel a beautiful stretch through the front of the shoulders. Option to let the head hang back. 2 rounds of breath here. Press into your feet to lift your hips. Press into your hands to support through the shoulders. 1 more breath. And release. So good. The last little pose we're going to do are some hip circles. So rock forward onto hands and knees and just wave your hips left and right, slowly moving. And using the weight into your hands to massage through the shoulders as well. 1 more round of breath here. And waking up that sacral energy. Bringing that energy into the lower parts of the body, getting out of your head to be here now. All right, my friends, let's lie down for a 2-minute Shavasana. Extend your legs nice and long. Palms open. Eyes closed. Little gap in the lips, in the teeth. Take a deep breath in through the nose. A long sigh out the mouth. Bring your hands to your lower belly. Feel the breath move through that belly, and the hands rising and falling. And feel free to stay here if you have more time. If you need to get up, bring some life back to your fingers and your toes, your ankles, your wrists. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock from side to massage your lower spine. And then rock yourself up to seated. Crisscross the legs. My friends, if you enjoyed the breathwork part of this practice, then please make sure that you sign up for my 7-day free breathwork series where I deliver 7 days worth of breathwork practices straight to your email inbox. The link is in the description below. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so now. Hit the bell so that you can be notified of all the new practices as they drop. Bring your hands together as we say a final piece of gratitude for our bodies. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Have the most beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.